This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Now at 11, this was the scene just hours ago to our south. Voters in Kentucky demanding to exercise their right to vote. As predicted, there were problems at the polls after the state cut polling places from the typical 3,700 to 170 due to the pandemic. This issue is not isolated to Kentucky.
Many states also shrank their number of polls for the primary, including Indiana. With 19 weeks to go, the changes are raising major concerns about November's general election, when voter turnout could set records.
RTV6's Cornelius Hawker shows you how one local organization is working to make sure everyone who wants to vote is prepared, especially during the COVID crisis.
Indiana's primary election at the beginning of this month left a lot of people frustrated.
The line was really long.
I thought I could just come and it would be in and out.
Long wait times to vote in Marion County because there were only 22 polling places when there are usually more than 200.
We know that we're going to have double or triple the turnout in the fall, and so I think that's something we'll take into account.
While the government figures out what to do for the general election, organizations like the League of Women Voters here in Indianapolis are working to make sure anyone who wants to vote knows how to cast their ballot.
You cannot assume it's business as usual for the upcoming election or for the foreseeable future.
Rhea Kane is the League's president.
We have stressed that folks need to have an election plan put together before they ever go to the polls. Create a checklist for yourself. And it's something that we are actively kind of working on.
That election plan should include knowing dates, according to Rhea. Indiana voters have from now until October 22nd to request an absentee ballot for the general election. The League of Women Voters of Indianapolis is holding training sessions so that more people can help others figure out how to vote. They hope sharing information on voter registration and the process will make it easier in November and help more people exercise their right to vote, whether that's in person or by mail. Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
And with no end in sight to the pandemic, there's a push for the state to mail out applications for absentee ballots to all registered voters. We reached out to Governor Holcomb, and his office referred us back to comments he made earlier this month saying it's too early to tell if that's something they'll do. Indiana Senate Democrats, however, are calling on the Election Commission to get the ball rolling on no excuse absentee ballots, saying in part it is crucial that Hoosiers have this secure voting option in order for a safe election to occur.
This week, we expect to learn more about the plans for school districts across central Indiana to reopen. But tonight, we are hearing from parents. RTV6's Cameron Riddle spoke with a father in Indianapolis who explained what he wants to see districts do as they deal with the ongoing pandemic.
As the calendar inches closer to July, the new school year is approaching. But this time, the school year is starting after the last one ended in a pandemic.
How are they going to move forward with teaching children without turning the classroom into a science lab?
That is the question likely on the minds of many parents who are wondering if it is safe to send their kids back to in-person classes next month, or questioning if school will have in-person classes at all. Walter Caston has 5 daughters in the Perry Township School District, the second largest of Marion County's 11 districts, which are all expected to release their reopening plans this week.
I want them to say something that's going to work, that makes sense. You know, don't just say what people want to hear. Let's actually have a plan and make it make sense.
Outside of Indianapolis, schools in Johnson and Hendricks counties have already announced plans to return on time with no changes to the calendar, but with face masks included in the new normal. Caston is against turning school into an unrecognizable place, but is for taking precautions like wearing face masks, disinfecting surfaces, and washing hands. He's just hoping schools are prepared for the battle parents have been fighting for the last several months.
Like I said, if you're going to put masks into play and have precaution, you better have some backup plans, because guess what? Children lose everything. If their teeth wasn't attached to their gums, they'd lose those every single day.
Caston is prepared to take his own precautions to keep his girls safe, That includes driving them to school instead of putting them on the bus. When it comes to reopening schools, the plan he wants to see is straightforward.
Reasonable and solid.
In Indianapolis, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
IPS families still have time to make their voices heard as the district shapes its plan for the upcoming school year. A survey is asking parents what measures they would like to see in place before sending their kids back to the classroom. So far, more than 4,400 families have responded. That's about 27% of the student population. Around 1/3 of respondents say they have someone living in their home who is considered at risk for complications from COVID-19. That same number of families said they would choose e-learning if the district made it available full time. Superintendent Alicia Johnson talked to RTV6 about some of the challenges schools face.
Schools have been structured really to maximize efficiencies, maximize collaboration, maximize partnerships, and children being in groups and talking with each other. And now we're having a plan for essentially the opposite of those things.
And Johnson says IPS is working to make sure every student has access to a device and an internet hotspot if they need it. You have until Friday to participate in the IPS survey. We have a link to it on our website.
Groups that help people make ends meet during tough times are now getting help themselves. The Restart program will award grants to help nonprofit organizations take steps to safely reopen their facilities. The money will help reimburse the cost of things like personal protective equipment, cleaning products, and building safety improvements. Leaders with the United Way, which is administering the funding, say any registered nonprofit in Marion County is eligible to apply.
That means our community centers, arts organizations, relief agencies, food banks, child care programs, and faith-based organizations, and so many more can apply beginning today through August 15th.
The program is a partnership between the United Way and the City of Indianapolis. You can apply at nonprofitrestart.com.
Now to the latest on the toll the COVID-19 pandemic is taking on Hoosier lives. 2,377 people in Indiana have died from the virus, according to the State Department of Health. 14 newly reported deaths happened between June 17th and yesterday. More than 426,000 people have been tested for the virus, and just over 10% have tested positive. And top health leaders testified about coronavirus testing at a hearing on Capitol Hill today. They were asked about President Trump's claim at his weekend rally that he ordered officials to slow down COVID-19 testing.
I know for sure, but to my knowledge, none of us have ever been told to slow down on testing. That just is a fact. In fact, we will be doing more testing.
Has President Trump ever directed you to slow down testing for COVID-19 in the United States? Dr. Redfield?
No.
No, sir. No, Congressman.
Thank you.
Dr. Anthony Fauci, the director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, also talked about vaccine trials. He told lawmakers one vaccine is entering phase 3 of study in July and several others are in the works. He predicts the vaccine could be ready by the end of this year or early next year.
More violence in Indianapolis tonight after an apparent shooting and crash. Wayne Township firefighters were called to Washington Street near Waldemere Avenue just after 9 o'clock this evening. They believe 2 people in a car went off the road after a shooting and crashed into a Dollar Tree. Police say one of the victims, a man, died while being taken to the hospital. The second victim, a woman, is expected to survive. We are now working to learn what led up to the shooting.
Only on RTV6, Call 6 Investigates has new information about the investigation into a shooting involving IMPD officers that left a man dead. Metro Police have not publicly released their evidence of what led to the gunfire that killed Dre'Jean Reed on May 6th. According to police, Reed shot at officers twice during a chase, and Officer DeJour Mercer fired more than 10 rounds. The legal team for Reed's estate released a statement saying in part, quote, "We fully expected that during our campaign for the truth to be told that we would be hit with alternative facts. Alternative facts make this report highly suspicious, given that they directly contradict testimony from multiple eyewitnesses." They also say they've never been given access to the evidence. The special prosecutor on this case tells Call 6 she cannot comment on the details of a pending investigation.
Now to a different Call 6 investigation. A local towing company is facing a class action lawsuit for allegedly charging drivers excessive and illegal storage fees. Max Ketchum lives at Sebring Court Apartments, where his vehicle was towed the night of June 10th. He went to Zors to pick it up. Max's receipt shows that he was charged $30 in storage fees, even though Indianapolis ordinance states towing companies cannot charge you a $30 storage fee until your vehicle has been impounded for at least 24 hours. Max's car was only at Zors for 14 hours, according to the receipt. He has filed a class action lawsuit accusing Zors of charging excessive fees and violating the Indiana Deceptive Consumer Sales Act.
The last thing I want is for somebody who's already down on their luck to be even further down on their luck because of $60 or $30 on top of potentially a lost job or what have you.
Zors tells us their attorneys are investigating the claims raised in the lawsuit. We also reached out to the city. They did investigate Max's complaint and found he was improperly charged. The city has asked Zors to refund the customer the entire $180 that he was charged for the tow and storage. Now here's Kevin.
It feels refreshing out there, Mark. Temperatures upper 60s now. Will be very cool in the morning. What changes arrive, though, for the weekend coming up?
Small business owners that need help rebounding as the pandemic continues can still get help from the federal government. Next, what you need to know if you're hesitant to apply.
And there's a new brew in town. While the pandemic has forced many restaurants to close permanently, one local restaurant chain is expanding.
$500. DraftKings. Game on.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
The Rebound Indiana is working to connect small businesses with the resources they need to help make ends meet during the coronavirus pandemic. And the Small Business Administration says more money is available from the Paycheck Protection Program, but time is running out to apply. Small businesses looking for relief can still receive some of the federal funding made available to help keep Hoosiers employed. $128 billion is still up for grabs. And as of this week, Indiana businesses have received 76,056 loans for a total of $9.4 billion. I talked with the district director of the SBA Indiana, Stacey Pointer, and he says it's now even easier to get a PPP loan forgiven.
Now, when you're looking at the forgiveness piece of it, because remember, these can be 100% forgiven as long as now 60% of the proceeds were used for payroll, and you can look at a 24-week payroll period. So that's really expanding the use of proceeds to be able to be forgiven.
And just so you know, that was 75% before that was changed. And although the deadline is June 30th, Pointer recommends getting your application into your lender as soon as you can to give them time to process it.
If a part-time job will help you rebound, FedEx is adding 1,000 local positions. The company is in the process of opening a new building at Indianapolis International Airport. The additional staffers will work at the new facility unloading packages after they're removed from planes or operating equipment that moves packages. Day and overnight shifts are available. Pay starts at $16.12 per hour. You can find a link to apply on our website, theindychannel.com.
Kevin Gregory joins us now with a look at your forecast. And Kevin, we could definitely feel that cooler breeze settle in today.
And I bet you more than a few viewers right now have windows open. Let some of that fresh air in. The wind won't be as strong during the day tomorrow, Amanda. 64 in Peru. They'll lead the way into the 50s by tomorrow morning. 50s to lower 60s, generally speaking. We did have one area of showers fade away as it crossed Terre Haute and then into Clay County. A lone shower still survives north of Sullivan. Remember last night at this time, we had an area of thunderstorms ongoing that would go into the early morning hours. We're dry and cool overnight. That humidity will stay low for the next couple of days. Remember when I mentioned I was tracking dust? This becomes a national weather story. What's going on, what we call the trade winds or the easterly winds has brought dust from the Saharan desert west across the Atlantic, should arrive in the Gulf of Mexico by Friday, and some forecast models drift that to the north. We may notice a haze in the sky and maybe some vibrant, colorful sunrise and sunset as we go to the weekend. Temperatures will be comfortable in the morning. Pick another adjective. I think you'll enjoy it. 56 degrees in Peru. Generally upper 50s. High temperatures tomorrow and Thursday still comfortable, and then it's flipping a switch. We're right back in the upper 80s Friday. Humidity comes fighting back and sticks around, not just Friday, but through early next week. There are the high temperatures tomorrow with a slight chance for some showers and thunderstorms. At 1 o'clock, not much happening. 4 o'clock, you begin to see, especially to the north, just a couple isolated showers. 6 o'clock northwest of Lafayette and Peru, and to the north and east of Indy seems to be the most likely spot then in the evening hours. High temperatures Thursday, about average for this time of year, should be 83 or 84, most people in that range. And the humidity's low, and we have plenty of sunshine on Thursday. It will make it a very enjoyable day. The change comes as we get to Friday and the weekend. Looking ahead, Friday's high 87. 40% chance we pop some thunderstorms in that humidity. That's a trend that will continue both Saturday and Sunday. The overnight lows that'll be in the 50s tonight will be in the 70s Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday morning. We'll lose our overnight comfort in a hurry, and high temperatures middle to upper 80s from Friday through Tuesday.
All right, thank you, Kevin. It was a gorgeous evening out there for anyone who got to go outside. And while many restaurants struggle to stay open during this difficult time, one local group is celebrating a grand opening. A new Brew Burger bar is now open for business at Keystone at the Crossing on the northeast side of Indianapolis. It's the 11th location. The original Brew Burger bar is on Mass Ave. Craig Morris, general manager of the new restaurant, says COVID-19 has, of course, created challenges, but loyal customers are making the process easier.
Opening a brand new restaurant, which is already challenging enough, and then we have 50%, 75% as you're doing social distancing. So we're delighted that we have a good brand and good support from the community, and that's certainly helping us.
The new Brew Burger opened yesterday. The chain is owned by Cunningham Restaurant Group, which is based in Indianapolis, and the company owns and operates dozens of other restaurants in Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky.
An Indianapolis woman's pop-up donut shop sells out in seconds thanks to her creativity in the kitchen and behind the camera. Our Brad Brown shows how her popular Instagram account is helping the owner of Indie Dough attract more than just likes.
There's an old saying that you eat with your eyes. When you see things that are this stunning visually, you can be sure that they taste just as good.
I didn't think it was going to happen as quick as it did, I guess. Yeah, it's just happening a lot faster than I was expecting.
Amanda Gibson is the self-taught baker behind the Indie Dough account on Instagram. More than 4,000 followers and rising, much like some of the dough that's got Circle City donut fans buzzing.
I think that it came from just wanting to have a creative outlet, and I just wanted to do something that was mine in the kitchen, and so baking came to fruition, and then Instagram.
The Indiana native was working at a donut shop in Jacksonville, moved back home as a new mom and to be closer to her family.
So I moved and I didn't find any donuts here that were like mine, so I decided to go back to the kitchen and redevelop recipes that were my own.
A wildly creative mind and meticulous process have led to a long list of amazing flavors. On this particular day, it's a s'mores old-fashioned with torched marshmallow topping.
With donuts, too, they're kind of like you can put anything on top of them, so that's the other great thing is just anything you want to do. It's a blank canvas.
Amanda's Indie Dough pop-up sales now end up sold out just minutes after she posts the links online. And she's teaming up with other local restaurants for donuts plus just about anything events.
That was another reason why I wanted to start doing Indie Dough, was because I wanted to make contact with more people that were small businesses within the community, and I just wanted to be in the restaurant industry, and this was my way of doing it with the time constraints that I had with also wanting to be a full-time mom.
That was Brad Brown reporting. The Indie Dough Instagram has only been up for about 9 months. Amanda also makes cakes, cookies, breads, and more. You can visit Indie Dough on Instagram. Follow for notifications and updates on her next pop-up donut sale. We'll be right back here on RTV6.
This is RTV6 News at 11, working for you.
Vitamins have been in short supply on store shelves as people try to protect themselves from getting sick amid the pandemic. Scripps reporter Jessica Paris learned some things that boost your immunity cannot be bought.
First, it's important to remember that nothing you do is 100% guaranteed to prevent you from getting sick. But there are certain lifestyle changes you can make that can actually help your immune system to react better when there are pathogenic invaders that would cause diseases.
Savannah Schumacher is a registered dietitian with Healthline. She and other experts overwhelmingly say getting enough sleep is number one.
Making sure that you're getting plenty of sleep. Sleep and immunity are so deeply linked. So just getting adequate sleep can actually help keep you from getting sick as often.
When you have a disrupted sleep cycle and not getting good, adequate restorative sleep, then our immune system kind of takes a hit for that.
Joy Wydert is the chair of integrative medicine at the American Academy of Pediatrics. She says younger children need 9 to 11 hours of sleep, while teenagers could use 8 to 10 hours. Also, watch out for stress. Consistent high levels of stress can weaken your immune system.
In these goofy times that we're living in right now, we all are experiencing, I think, higher levels of stress. Kids may not say, "Oh, Mom, I'm stressed," but they may manifest it by being maybe more irritable or not sleeping well.
Getting outside or prioritizing time to relax can help. Another major factor in keeping our immunity strong is our diet. Eating rich, whole foods that aren't processed. Probiotics can also help.
Are there certain supplements that people can take to kind of help their immune system during this time?
The thing you really need to consider about supplements is that they're no guarantee. Now, there are some supplements that some studies show may help boost your immunity, but so far, there's no research on any supplement that shows that it's able to prevent COVID-19.
Vitamin D has a direct impact on our immune system, preferably straight from the sun. Elderberry is a supplement that's strongly recommended by many doctors for families, as it acts as a barrier to viruses.
Other nutrients which I think are important are vitamin C and zinc. Those work together to help make what we call tight junctions in the epithelial cells. So our epithelial cells need to be tight together so germs can't get through. And vitamin C and zinc help maintain that tight junction with things.
While supplements are certainly beneficial, experts advise getting the vitamins naturally through food is the best. These tools helpful in keeping your immune system at its best and a great addition to other safety measures like wearing a mask, washing your hands, and social distancing, as many do their best to avoid COVID-19. I'm Jessica Paris reporting.
Kroger, fresh for everyone.
The Indianapolis Parks Department will offer free summer concerts and movies starting Friday. A screening of The Lion King at Garfield Park begins at 9 p.m. Shows and performances will be held throughout the summer at various Indy parks, including Broad Ripple, Eagle Creek, and MLK. For more info, go to parks.indy.gov. Kevin.
Okay, here's an advantage of home casting. This is my pre-newscast snack. I'm trying to be disciplined. Only had 2 cookies tonight, and they were good, and they fueled me right here till 11:30. 70s tomorrow, just a slight chance for an afternoon thunderstorm.
All right, Kevin, I'll have to slip me my address so we can send those cookies up this way. They look good. That'll do it for us here on RTV6 News at 11. Thanks for joining us. GMI, head your way at 4:30. Have a great night, everybody.